needed to fight the king on equal terms wherever they were going. And so they new modelled their army. And this is the beginning of the new modelled army, having fought at Naseby and Rainsborough, who was in charge of the besieging group that came here with 1,500 men, something like 500 men within the castle itself from Royalists, had new modelled, and Rainsborough's regiment, if you hear us, Rainsborough himself actually came from Massachusetts and had about 3 or 4 officers that came with him from Massachusetts.
Stop her! Stop her! Stop her, girl! Stop her, girl! Stop her! Come on, you lazy men! Stop her! Come on, catch her! You're stealing. That isn't your plate, is it?
Yeah, it is.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
You come back to the mayor and let us decide whether it's your plate or not.
Take it to the birch. This gunfire is 2 engagements that went on at Berkeley Castle, where Rainsborough attacked the church, which is, I think you'll find behind the castle. And this was fought over many, many times, and there's still evidence of that actual fight.
We're going to go through how the musket is fired, okay? I need lit match cord, right, so we'll get that going first. I could of course put it in the fire, but that'd be the easy bit, wouldn't it? But how would I have lit the fire in the first place? I would have lit the fire in the first place by using my tinder box, okay? Yeah, you see those sparks, they're actually very easy to make, but they're actually too small to light anything. So what I'm going to take is some tinder, which is a black, fragile cloth. It's actually, it's almost like, well, it is charcoal, but instead of using wood, I've used a bit of cloth. What I'll then do, place that back on the flint.
Will it go on fire?
Watch. That's the flint, that's the steel, okay?
Can you see a little spark on that piece of that material?
See it?
It's beginning to burn now. It's burning.
See what's happening?
Can you see that? It's now caught the light.
Right. So my match cord is lit now. So I can now get on with telling you how the musket will be loaded and fired. So as a musketeer, you have your bandolier.
Will you shoot it?
No, we won't actually shoot anything at the moment. We'll do that later. What I'll do is I'll just talk you through how it works, alright? So I've got lit match there.
I'll tell you what, he'll show you how it's loaded, and then when he says fire, you've got to shout bang.
You've got to go bang, alright?
Okay.
Okay. So I've got lit match cord there, and each one of these bottles has got gunpowder in. So as a musketeer, you've got to think very carefully. Lit match, gunpowder, alright? Because I really don't want to burn myself. First thing I do is open that pan. Reach down, put gunpowder in there. So there's gunpowder inside there, that goes into the pan. I do up the pan. I then cast, blow off any loose bits of powder there, okay? Yeah? And gunpowder looks like sand.
I'm sitting on it.
They apply. Right, are we going to carry on loading this musket? I shall turn around then. Yeah.
Try and borrow your match cord from me.
Yeah. Right, so we primed that end, what we call priming. We then take one of the bottles, flip the top off, pour the contents down the barrel. So that is your powder charge, okay? And typically I'll leave the top off so I know I've used that one. I would then reach into the bullet bag here, bullet bag there, and take one of those bullets. So those bullets that you were looking at, I'll put one down the barrel. Take out the scouring stick, shorten it, ram home your bullet. That would then be a loaded musket.
I'll have the matches now.
Yeah, I'll have your match better. That won't light that. You could put the match on the wax. Right, when you're ready to fire it, what you do is you get your match, get it glowing, place it into, that's called a serpent, and make sure it will go into the pan. That's so you can fire it. When you're ordered to, you present it. That sheep does look very tasty. You open the pan, and you fire, you lower the match in, and the powder in there ignites, it burns, goes through and sets off the main charge. There's a small hole there where the fire goes through and then sets off the main powder charge. Okay? Alright. Once you've fired, you take that match down, put it back in those fingers there, and blow down the touch hole, and then you're ready to load and fire it again. Okay? So that's how a musketeer would fire his musket. Quite often, not work. You get them damp, gunpowder just absorbs moisture. And for example, the fact you've got open gunpowder there does mean that on a damp day, which we normally get, to be honest, you know, we can't cope with this sunlight stuff, normally damp and wet, you can literally reach a situation where there is mud, literally mud in there, and there's no way it will ignite. The musket effectively becomes useless, and the only thing you can then use is use it as a club in that format, which was commonly done. It was very commonly done. All right, I mean that's swung round, and it's deliberately iron shod for that purpose. Okay.
Way that control withdrew from London, went into Oxford, and when you looked at Oxford, they had numerous outposts, even far south as Basingstoke, where Basing House was, and again they put a garrison out towards Alton, which is even further away, and when you moved north you went as far as Banbury. They regularly attacked Newport Pagnell to try and get that under its control. And the main reason is money and food. By controlling area, you will A, be able to tax the locals, and secondly, get their food and